Okay, so hey there guys, so today's video is going to be another very exciting one. I am collabing with Marley again. We decided to do a cheap, nothing above 10 version of our first collab that we did last week. So I messaged her on Instagram again and asked her if she wanted to do a affordable tutorial, get ready with me, whatever you want to call it, instead of the more expensive version. And she was like, yeah, let's do it. So I don't know why I can't speak today. So I'm going to be priming my eyes, and I'm going to be using the Marley eyeshadow primer. So I'm just going to do that. And before you start watching this video, please go in the description box and go subscribe to her channel and go check out her video as well. I can't wait to see hers. We're both filming our looks, I think, today, so I'm really excited to see what looks she comes up with too. She has a ton of affordable options. She shops at the Dollar Tree all the time, so I'm sure you guys are going to see a lot more accessible things in her video. I actually kind of decluttered a lot of my more affordable eyeshadow palettes. My favorite drugstore palette is the Marley Pure Passion palette, and I would have loved to use that today, but that eyeshadow palette is definitely over $10. I think it's around $15.99 or something to almost $20. So I couldn't really use that in today's video. So I already set my primer down, so now I'm going to actually set it with the Maybelline Fit Me Set and Smooth Normal to Dry powder in the shade 110 Porcelain. I'm going to be using a bunch of stuff from the Maybelline Fit Me line today. It is one of my favorite lines from the drugstore. So I'm going to take that and set my eyes with it. I kind of want to get into using this powder again because I used it a couple days back and I was like, I really need to start using this powder again. So I'm going to be using that to set my primer down. So yeah, I'm really excited to see her video, and I hope you guys check her out. So now I'm going to be jumping into my eyeshadow, and I'm going to be using my ColourPop single shadows today. I'm going to be using some from out of here, and then a lid shade from one of these guys, because I have them in this palette and a couple in here, along with a couple of ColourPop blushes. But I'm probably not going to use the blushes. I'm going to use something else for my blush. So I'm going to jump into this little singles palette that I have from ColourPop. I actually haven't used these to do an eye look in quite a bit because I've been testing out newer eyeshadow palettes the past couple of weeks, not even the past couple of days. I've been testing them out for quite a while, basically all of last month. So I really haven't been able to use some of my older eyeshadows, so I'm going to do that today. So for my transition shade, I'm going to jump into the shade Firefly. As you guys can see, it's my most used shade from ColourPop because it's usually my go-to everyday transition shade. So I'm just going to take that and buff it in the crease. The only thing that I'm not using that's under $10 are my makeup brushes, but my eyeshadow brushes, everything else is pretty affordable. So I'm just going to lay that down. My eyelids are a little bit dry today, but that's okay. I'm not going for anything too glamorous. I'm obviously going to be doing a pretty natural look. So I'm actually pretty exhausted still from all of the weekend shenanigans, but I do feel better today. I definitely feel more refreshed today because I actually did sleep. Just for some reason I have anxiety filming right now. I have no idea why. I also ignored this thing right here. I'm so annoyed about it, so I think I really just have to go get my moisturizer. The moisturizer I really love. I would have gotten the CeraVe one, but I think I'm going to wait until I can go get the Ole Hendrix one that I actually really love, because the Sephora sale is going on right now, and I might just get the big size of that and save 20%. So anyway, now I'm going to go into my crease shade. I'm going to use this shade right here, which is called Wake Up Call. As you guys can see, I love this shade too, and I'm going to buff that in my crease. But yeah, I just wanted to do, I kind of wanted to jump back into my single shadows today. I was going to use the Wet n Wild, not a basic peach palette, but I didn't really feel like using it. I kind of just wanted to use some simple single shadows. And the single shadows from ColourPop, I believe, aren't over like $6 or $7. So they're pretty affordable if you don't want to like buy one eyeshadow palette, but honestly, their eyeshadow palettes are pretty affordable too, but they're not under $10. They're around 12 to almost they're $40 now because of the So Jaded palette, but that's the only palette that's around that price. Pretty much all the other ones are around around like 12 to like $25. So they're still pretty affordable in my opinion. But if you don't want to go ham, you can always get get a few of the single shadows. But I would suggest if you want to try a variety of their eyeshadows, I would just go with the 12 pan palettes. Those are around $12, so they're still pretty affordable. And the 9 pan palettes are around that. I think they actually raised the price to about $16, but still pretty affordable. So now I'm going to go in with my crease shade, and I'm going to use this one right here, which is called Note to Self. Again, a very well loved shade from me. I'm going to pop that in the crease, and it's going to give this look a little bit more warmth. So yeah, I just really wanted to jump back and use some of my older shadows, and yeah, sometimes you just gotta actually use your products and not use like newer products. Sometimes I have to go back to like my older products, and also because these are really my only affordable eyeshadows besides Makeup Geek and the Wet n Wild ones. Because again, I ended up giving my e.l.f. Matte for Matte palette to Marley. Maybe she'll end up using that, who knows. But yeah, I really just don't really use that anymore, so I figured that she would really enjoy it. Okay, and then for the outer corners, I'm going to use the shade Cloud 9. It's a beautiful brown. I love using this or adding this to any look to deepen it up. It's a beautiful pigmented brown. It's such a good shade. I'm going to use that on the outer corners. But yeah, this is like my standard go-to palette. If I needed to go anywhere and bring like one eyeshadow palette with me, just for like a day or something, it would be this because it's just so easy to like throw these shades on. I don't know why my eyes are so dry today though. I've been definitely trying to moisturize my eyes more often, so it's just kind of weird. I'm just going to keep on buffing that on the outer corners. I might eat lunch before I leave today because I actually have to stop by Lucky and go get my brother the pants that he wants because we're having like a ridiculous good sale for the employees where it's like 75% off everything for us. So I actually bought this shirt yesterday, but this was already like its own separate sale. But I wanted to wear it for today's video. This was 60% off plus 25% for me. So it only cost me like $9. It was such a good price. Originally it would have been like 14 or something, so I saved a few extra bucks, so that was pretty nice. I still would have paid like 14 for it, but for the t-shirts now, I really do wait or try to wait until they go on sale, and I thought that this one was really cute, so decided to get that. And then I got 2 other sweaters, so I'm going to wear those to work at some point. So I'm just going to prime my eyes with my NYX glitter primer. And then I'm going to jump into the lid shade. And I was tempted to use one of the shades in here because I haven't used these shades in such a long time. But I'm going to use a different one. I kind of want to go with something a little bit more bronzy today. So I'm going to go in with this shade from this D palette. And I'm going to use the shade High Strung, which is this shade right here. And I'm going to pop that one all over my lid. Oh, it's so pretty. I love it. Ooh. Yeah. I don't even remember the last time I've actually used this. Is that the right shade? I remember it being a little bit more pigmented than this, but it's fine. It's not really giving me too much shimmer, to be honest. Let's try it on this side. It might have just gotten a little bit of hard pan. It's not as pigmented as I remember it being, but it's still really pretty. Oh yeah, really nice. So I hope everybody had a great Halloween. This is actually the first video that I think I'm filming in November because I haven't been able to film these past couple of days because I had to go to Connecticut and then I had work all weekend. So this is probably the only video I'm filming because I have so many videos pre-filmed that I need to post, but this one is definitely going up first because I told Marley if you wanted to upload tomorrow, that's fine. So I'm recording it the day before we actually upload it. Okay, so that color is down. I feel like I want to add a little bit more of like a shimmer or something, but I don't know really what I would add to it. I think I'm just going to leave it alone. I don't really care too much. It's just to have a little bit of something on the lids. And then for my brow bone, just need to find my brow bone highlights. So I'm actually trying to get off work tomorrow because originally I was supposed to go see Maleficent with one of my friends, but now she can't go. So I'm going to take the shade Hear Me Out, which you guys know is like my go-to brow bone highlight, and I'm just going to pop that on the brow bone. But I'm supposed to work tomorrow night, but I actually just texted one of my other friends that I haven't seen since her birthday, and I wanted to know she actually texted me first asking, well, I texted her first, but then she actually asked me if I was free tomorrow, like literally the second response that I got from her, and I was like, I'm not sure. I have to ask my coworker if he can still cover my shift. Because originally I asked him like last week if he could cover me, and he said he wasn't sure yet, so I texted him around an hour ago, so hopefully he'll be able to get back to me and let me know whether or not if he can work for me, because I kind of don't want to work tomorrow because my boss is back from her trip and I don't really want to work with her. So yeah. So I'm just gonna take the Wake Up Call and Note to Self shade. Well, I'm gonna take the Note to Self shade again and just clean up some of that transfer. I don't know why this shade is not as pigmented as I actually remember it being. Like, the mattes are fine, but I feel like the shimmer is just, like, not pigmented enough. I'm going to take a little bit of this gold shade. What shade is this? Save it for later. I'm going to take that and put it, like, over it. See if that kicks it up a little bit more. Yeah, definitely like that more. Okay. Yeah, that's giving me more of the shimmer that I wanted. I don't know why the other one doesn't really, like, isn't as shimmery as this one is. It might be just because it's with all those blushes and it might be just getting a little bit dry and a little bit of like hiccup from the other powders that are in the palette. So I like how that looks more. So I'm just going to take a little bit more Note to Self and clean up some of that transfer. Hopefully we won't ruin the whole look. Because if I end up putting too much mattes on my crease, they end up like kind of muddying together. So yeah, I think that looks fine. Okay, so now I'm just going to wet my sponge and I'll be right back. Okay, so now I'm going to jump into the face and I'm going to be using my NYX primer spray to prep my skin. Pretty sure that's underneath $10. If not, I'm sorry. And then for my primer, this is definitely under $10. It's been my favorite primer like this whole month. I'm using the e.l.f. Mineral Infused Face Primer. I literally don't use anything else. I really need to go get some new face primers from the drugstore. For me, with primers, I like use up the whole thing and then I'll go get a new one finally. I mean, I love the Maybelline one, but I've just been like using this one a lot. And even the Maybelline ones are still kind of expensive. So the cheapest line for the Maybelline products I find is the Maybelline Fit Me line. And I haven't used this foundation in quite a while, so I really wanted to whip it out and use it today. So I'm going to use the Maybelline Fit Me Dewy and Smooth Normal to Dry Skin Foundation in the shade 110 Porcelain. And I'm going to pop that on my face. Just want to shake it up. And the only thing I don't like about the Fit Me foundation is that there is no pump, which doesn't really make any sense, but I guess that's why it's cheaper. But it's honestly a little bit annoying. But I have went through an entire one of these before, so this is my second bottle. That's how much I love this foundation. But I haven't worn it in quite a long time, so I wanted to whip it out and use it today. I usually, like, my go-to foundations for, like, lighter makeup days are, like, the Physicians Formula foundation and, like, the Bare Minerals Stick foundation. I don't tend to use this too much because it's just such a hassle to, you know, pour it out. But since I have so much time today, I figured why not finally use it again. So I'm going to buff that into my skin. I believe it's around like $7.99, so it isn't too expensive. Honestly, it's one of the cheapest drugstore foundations now. Like, basically, I find the cheapest drugstore brand now is Wet n Wild, and Essence, and what's the other one? Honestly, those two are like really the only ones that you can find products under $10. Most drugstore brands really aren't too affordable anymore, to be honest. They're getting up there in price. That's why I say to like get stuff from Colourpop or from Wet n Wild, because there's like still, and the Maybelline Fit Me line are like still the most affordable to me. You can even get drugstore stuff cheaper at Marshall's now than you can get it at the actual drugstore, which is kind of crazy. Because they keep on like raising their prices like higher and higher. Like L'Oreal and Maybelline and CoverGirl especially, they are getting pretty expensive. Alright, so, oh god, I love this foundation. So happy I used it today. I mean, I'm just running like a couple of errands and then I'm going to my boyfriend's house, but hey, since I'm filming a video, I wanted to wear foundation today. Normally on these days I would skip foundation because I haven't really skipped foundation in a couple days. Well, not since like Friday. Okay, and then for concealer, I'm going to use the Coinciding Concealer, the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade 15 Fair. I'm actually surprised that Marley ended up not liking this concealer. This is one of my favorites from the drugstore. I'm actually almost out of this one again. I've been through like countless ones of these. Like so many. Like literally so many. At least 4. Because I used to use this as my like purse concealer as well. I would bring it with me if I needed it for like when I wear lipsticks that I know that are going to transfer. That's usually the only reason why I would bring concealer with me. I don't know what this is on the bottom here. Kind of look like pot marks. I don't know how I ended up getting those on my face, but we're here. Oh, and I'm sorry, I actually forgot that I didn't make, well, I wasn't going to make a Sephora recommendations video for the sale this year, but me and Chip are planning to do our makeup swap again, so we're actually going to be getting, you know, products for each other again this time. I'm probably going to get that stuff towards the end of the week. So I'm really excited to do that again with her. And then I'm just going to take the concealer and apply it underneath my eyes. Right there. I'll do the same on this eye. I really do feel like I'm running out of it though. Okay, just like that. Take that and apply it underneath. Honestly, the Maybelline Fit Me concealer doesn't provide too much coverage. It's just really easy to blend out, and it's just an easy concealer to wear. I would also wear the Wet n Wild concealer today, or like the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind is my all-time favorite drugstore concealer. It's amazing. I've been through at least 3 of those as well. I absolutely love that concealer. I'm almost done with like my 3rd or 4th one. So like the Maybelline Fit Me and the Instant Age Rewind are like my 2 most gone through concealers from the drugstore. I absolutely love Maybelline concealers. And I love their foundations too. They just know how to do face makeup. They do it really well. So, okay, so for my setting powder underneath my eyes, I'm going to use my ColourPop No Filter setting powder. This is underneath $10. I believe it's around $9. So, hey, it's still underneath 10. I mean, with tax, it's a little bit over 10, but I didn't really have any other loose powder that was as affordable as this one. So, yeah, I'm going to use this one today. I'm just going to set my forehead. So I'm really wanting to see Maleficent, but I haven't had anybody to go with because no one's been available. And like I said, since I was supposed to see it tomorrow with one of my friends and now she can't go because she has like 2 other jobs that she has to go to, so she's going to be traveling a hell of a lot. She is a lot older than me, so she's not really going to be available to see it. So now I'm going to go back into the Maybelline Fit Me powder and set my face with that. I'm just going to take a big powder brush. So I did text my friend and I was just saying, hey, but I also really wanted to see if I could get off work so I could go see the movie with her tomorrow. So, because she said she would go with me. God, I forgot how good this powder is. It's so lightweight and beautiful on the skin. It's such a good powder. Okay, so now I'm going to go back into the lower lash line. I just kind of want to spray. I would spray my face if my setting spray was over here, but it's not. Okay, so I just need my eyeshadow brush again. Just give me a second. So now we're going to jump into the lower lash line, and I'm just going to take probably Wake Up Call and Note to Self and just buff those both on my lower lash line. Can't believe I'm using these today. Like, I've been using so many new eyeshadows lately that it's kind of nice to go back into your collection and use older eyeshadows that you really love, because like honestly with eyeshadows it can get really overwhelming for me, so I'm kind of happy that I'm able to use older products today. Kind of like digs at, like makes me use other products that I don't use enough when I use more affordable stuff, because I do love the drugstore and I do love using affordable makeup. I just end up using like ColourPop 99% of the time. So okay, and then for my inner corners, I'm going to go into my favorite inner corner shade of life, and that is Let Me Explain. I also have pan on that too. I just love this highlight, this to highlight the inner corners so much. It's just so brightening and beautiful. I love this shade. It's just so pretty. I love it. So today's my only day off until Friday, which kind of sucks. I didn't really want to work 3 days in a row, but at the same time, I need the money. All right, now I'm just going to grab my face products and be right back. Okay, so for the lower lash line, I'm going to go in, well, the waterline, I'm going to use the ColourPop gel eyeliner in the shade Honey Dude. I usually use the MAC one because that one I love so much, but I'm going to use this one. Hopefully this will actually work, but it's just a nude liner. I'm going to use that to line the waterline. I think that'll work just fine. I think I might eat lunch after this. I wasn't going to, but I think I need to. Because I actually got up relatively earlier today, so I'm kind of hungry for lunch. Not sure what I'm going to eat though. I don't even know what we have, to be honest. Okay, let's jump into the face. I'm going to do my mascara after setting my face because the mascara I use transfers like crazy if my face gets wet. So I usually put it on after I set my face. So for my bronzer, I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild Color Icon bronzer. Wet n Wild Color Icon bronzer in the shade Ticket to Brazil. Sorry, I don't know what just happened. And I'm going to use that to bronze up my skin. I'm trying to use this and whip it out more. And I love it, but I always forget that it's in my drawer sometimes. So I'm going to use that to bronze up my skin today. I actually don't have a Maybelline or a L'Oreal bronzer, which is kind of funny because I know a lot of people talk about those too. But you know, I'm just trying to use the bronzers in my collection. I have quite a few that I have pan on and all that jazz. So yeah. I'm just going to use that to bronze up my skin. Okay, and then for blush, I think I'm going to go in with this guy. This is the Maybelline Fit Me blush in the shade Peach. I'm going to use that. These, I believe, are around like $7. It's a really pretty, like, peachy, shimmery blush, and I really like it. It's just really subtle. I was going to use my e.l.f. blush palette, but let me see if this gives me enough. I don't find that this is too pigmented, but I feel like if I, you know, dip my brush enough, it'll give me enough color. Yeah, that's really pretty. So I think I'm just going to go with that. I haven't used it in a while, so why not stick with some of the Maybelline products? I do love Maybelline. Alright, I'm going to do my highlight in a second. I just kind of want to look up the price of it first before I use it. Okay, so for my highlight, I'm going to use this a little bit as like a base, and then I'm going to put something more intense over it. So I'm going to use the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter in the shade Be My Highlight. This is the original shade that they came out with. I don't really love this by itself. I don't know why everybody raves about this so much, but I do really like it as like a base for my highlight. So I'm going to apply that. I just don't think it has enough pigment for me to be like just the highlight. I mean, it is really pretty by itself, but I always need something more because you know how I am. So I'm just going to apply that. Okay, so I just found out that my coworker can cover me tomorrow, so that actually makes me pretty happy. And then for my more intense highlight, this one is a little bit over $10 with tax, but under tax it's around $9.99. So it is going to end up costing you a little bit more money, but I absolutely love the Maybelline highlighters. If you want to go with something a little bit cheaper, I would definitely go with the Wet n Wild ones. I kind of need to get other colors from those because I absolutely love them, but I also love the Maybelline one. So this one is the Ulta exclusive one with Nikki Tutorials, and this one is the shade 250. So I'm going to use that and go over that Essence highlighter just to add a little bit more intensity because you know I need it to be poppin', and I just love this highlight. So I'm going to go in with that. to add a little bit more intensity. And as you can see, you like barely need any product, and it really just intensifies everything. It's so beautiful. And then I'm going to set my face with my Flower Beauty setting spray. I'm pretty sure this is around $10, so I'm going to use that. It's the dewy version, and I'm going to set my face. And then I'm just going to grab my brow products. Okay, so for my brows, I haven't been able to find like my spoolie lately anywhere, but for me, I just brush them out with brow gel anyway, so I'm just going to use the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Boost and Set Volumizing Brow Mascara. And this is in the shade, excuse me, not sure what shade it is, but I think it's like the light brown. This is the only affordable brow gel that I actually have, so if it is over $10, I'm sorry. I believe it's around $10, but it is a little bit more on the expensive side for drugstore brow gels, but it's okay. So I'm just going to use this. And now I can go in with my lip products, and I'm going to be using the CoverGirl lipstick in the shade 235 Champagne. I love these CoverGirl lipsticks. Typically I would just go in with a ColourPop one, but I haven't used this one in such a long time. And I absolutely love the formula of these CoverGirl lipsticks. I also love the scent of these. So I'm just going to go in with that. Oh, it's so pretty. I love it. So for the movie tomorrow, there's like no other 6:30 times besides like this other theater that's like a little bit far for my friend, but it's the only movie time that we would be able to make because everything else is at 6 p.m. So I don't know if that's going to work out for tomorrow. Oh, I forgot how much I love this lipstick. Alright, and then I'll show you guys the final look. Okay, and then, sorry, I actually forgot to put on my mascara, so I'm going to go in with the Wet n Wild Mega Length Mascara. This is like the only like drugstore mascara I have like left in my collection, because like all my other ones are pretty dried out, and this one I replaced not too long ago. And this is the cheapest option, so this one's around like $5 or $6, I believe. Again, Wet n Wild's a very affordable brand, so... And they are my favorite drugstore brand, actually. And I'm going to coat my bottom lashes as well. Okay. I'm going to fix it up really quick. And yeah, so that is the finished look, you guys. So here are the eyes, the cheeks, and the lips. So again, I'm sorry that like the only thing that probably wouldn't be under $10 would be the highlight, but honestly, I didn't really want to use any other highlight today. I love these Maybelline highlighters. They're still an affordable option, So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, please go check out Marley's video. I can't wait to see her look that she comes up with. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So please like and subscribe. Follow me on all my social media. I love you guys. Bye.